Welcome to the 2020 Horse and Hound Awards in partnership with NAF to celebrate this year's winners of the past decade. I'm Julian Seaman. It's been a strange year, so we're recognising the amazing people and moments of the past 10 years. Obviously our awards can only happen with the support of our kind sponsors, so thank you to them, and each winner will receive a bottle of Cava, kindly provided by our drinks partner Caballo Oscuro. Our first category is SEIB Horse of the Decade, and my goodness, there was some to choose from. Now for a short message from the sponsors, SEIB. Let's see who they all were.
SEIB, here to help.
Big star, Nick Skelton's Horse of a Lifetime, who was a winning machine until his retirement in 2017. His crowning glory was a brace of Olympic gold medals. At London 2012, he led the British team to victory, while at Rio 2016, he claimed individual honours. Chilly Morning, a brilliant championship campaigner for William Fox Pitt this decade, with 2 individual bronzes and a team silver. He also became the only stallion ever to triumph at Badminton with his 2015 victory. Vallegro, the greatest dressage horse of all time, who took individual and team gold at the 2012 Olympics and individual gold in 2016. At Olympia 2014, he beat his own world record to achieve the highest ever recorded Grand Prix freestyle dressage score of 94.3. La Biasatique Sam, FBW, winner of back-to-back individual Olympic golds, European and world individual gold, and 4 other championship medals, plus victories at Badminton Burghley that helped Michael Jung secure the Rolex Grand Slam in 2016. And now for the winner of the 2020 SEIB Horse of the Decade. It's Vallegro!
Vallegro, or Blueberry as we call him here at home, has always been a favourite of everybody. And I think wherever we have travelled around the world with him, he's been loved by people that aren't even horsey, not just the people that know him over here. So for us that he is recognised like this, it's just, like a truly inspirational thing for all of us to feel that for him, because, he is this superstar. He always has been. He's never, ever let us down, his country down, or Charlotte down. And, he just really is the superstar in a true sense. So I think, we could safely say that we're going to celebrate for him, celebrate with him. We're just delighted that that's happened. So thank you very much to everybody. The first time I ever set eyes on Blueberry, we were at the stallion grading in Holland, and we were wandering out in the stables in the back, and I was with Anna van Olst, and she said, oh, these are some of the young horses that didn't go through, and they will be sold on. And this very small, squat horse was looking at the stable, but you can see this head. He has this amazing dished face, and he always had this very alert expression. And he just caught my eye as being an extremely beautiful, powerful, compact 2.5-year-old. And I just fell in love with him there and then. And I just, I always described him as the head of a duchess, and with the bottom like a cook. And that's what he reminded me of there and then. And of course it was a risk. He's 2.5 years old. It'd be easy to say, wouldn't it? Oh, well, you could see he was a superstar. But he did have this amazing expression that shows, his intelligence. The development came later on. I think what made Blueberry and Charlotte such an amazing team is the fact that they'd actually been together for so long as well. When you're brought up with a horse, from an early age, and you know the horse inside out, and in fact the horse knows the rider inside out as well. They were absolutely like the perfect marriage, really. They were able to, cover up each other's weaknesses and strengths, bring the strength out together, and the weaknesses they hid. I mean, you would have always thought that Blueberry was made for to be a gold medal horse, but there were some things he found difficult along the way that he learnt. But I think because Charlotte is such a confident rider, he's such a confident horse. We all know we can win medals at home, but it's very difficult to take what you do at home into an arena. And that is what Charlotte and Blueberry did. Absolutely what he gave her at home, he gave her in the ring. And that is a rarity that you can actually take that forward. And she was always able to take risks with him because he was so in tune with her, because he's such a brave horse, because he's such a horse that enjoyed his work. He was just happy to show off, and the more she asked, the more he gave. And it's what put them above everybody else. Some people are like, always with their horses, like trying to keep it calm, trying to keep it relaxed because of their temperaments, or some horses just aren't motivated enough. But he is the perfect mixture of a horse that enjoys his work and an athlete. He is a proper horse athlete. I think one of the moments in his career where I was most proud was actually when we'd gone to Las Vegas and he was in the World Cup final. For the first time in his life, he had flown there with Alan. It's a long flight, 12-hour flight. For the first time ever, he was actually off colour after his travelling. He got big legs, and I think he was just feeling a little bit travel sick. And even the day before his competition, he still was under par, and he seemed quite flat and not himself. And then, as usual, the day of the final, he came out, and I think even though he wasn't feeling 100%, he gave 110%. And he won it well, and he won it in style. And he deserved that trophy that was there on the side of the arena. And I just thought, wow, what a horse. He didn't feel great, but he went in the ring, and it was almost like he knew on that particular day that he had to come up trumps, and he did. So he was retired in 2016 just from competition. I think people thought that, he was going into retirement and would never be seen again, and that's absolutely not the case. His life is very varied. At the moment he goes out, as you can see, his stable behind me is next to Utopia. They're able to touch each other. They've spent all their life traveling together, and it's only fitting that they have retired together. So they go out in the orchard up in front of the house every morning, and they do a few hours up there. They're both particularly greedy, so they can't do hours and hours, but they both go out, and then they'll either be hacked, or they do a little bit of schooling. He does a couple of lessons a week for my girls here, so that they get the feeling of what an amazing horse should feel like. But apart from that, we have people come and visit him regularly. Of course, this year's been a bit exceptional, but he's even, like this year, with his hobby horse and just charity things that he does. He raises so much money for other people. I mean, literally just by being him and letting people come and see him. And, in the summer when it was possible, 2 people that had raised money for a riding school that wasn't doing very well, they wanted to come and meet him. They arrived here, and we were even able to sit them on his back. He's that quiet and that kind with everybody. So he really is, he's a miracle horse. Well, I'd like to say a big thank you to Horse and Hound and SEIB for sponsoring Horse of the Decade. I can't tell you how proud everybody here at Oaklebrook Mill is of Vallegro. I think you can also see he looks very happy. To his other owners, Anne Barrett and Rhodey Luard, and of course Alan, who's looked after him so amazingly throughout his career. And the people here at home that always end up looking after the yard when Vallegro was away winning medals. They were the ones keeping an eye on things here. So I'm delighted, and thank you so much. Hopefully you'll be able to see him again in the future, because as you can see, he still looks as young as ever.
Category 2, Balanced Horse Feeds Pony of the Decade. We're looking for the pony who has earned respect and adoration, and so deserves to be heralded the pony of the past decade. Now for a message from the sponsors, Balanced Horse Feeds, and let's see who made it.
Balanced Horse Feeds, a range of complete feeds for every horse or pony, specifically targeted to specific equine needs. Balanced Horse Feeds produces the results.
Smurf, the former Horse and Hound Award-winning blind Shetland therapy pony who sadly died this year, aged 31, having helped so many patients. Teddy the Shetland, Alice Goring's social media star and eventing mascot turned fundraiser who woos crowds at Olympia and visits his local children's hospice. SL Lucci, the Danish-bred riding pony who broke every world record in the FEI pony test with dressage rider Phoebe Peters. Thistledown van der Vaart, the 12-year-old Welsh Section A who has won the Horse of the Year show Mini Mountain and Moorland Pony of the Year title 5 years on the trot. And now for the winner of the 2020 Balanced Horse Feeds Pony of the Decade. It's Teddy the Shetland.
Here we are with the Balanced Horse Feeds Pony of the Decade, Teddy the Shetland. As you can see, he's celebrating his win with stuffing his face, as he does 95% of his life.
We're absolutely over the moon that Teddy has been nominated and won the Pony of the Decade for Horse and Hound. He thoroughly deserves it. He is an absolute superstar, and it's so exciting and crazy really to think that so many people around the world love him just as much as we do, both from his Instagram following and also from his charity work he does, which we'll talk about a bit later.
When we first got him, we had absolutely no idea any of this would happen. My sister actually bought him when I was at uni, and I came home from uni and there was this tiny little adorable fluffy thing that actually didn't look like a pony at all. It looked like some kind of cross between, I don't know what, like a sheep and a camel and
Llama.
everything that wasn't a horse. And he was supposed to be a companion, because at the time my sister was buying and selling a lot of youngsters from Ireland, and I was just we started taking so many photos of him because he was so adorable, and we kept posting them on our own accounts, and we were like really annoying all of our friends and starting to kind of look like social freaks. So at one Christmas, the Christmas we got him, we actually decided to make him his own page, and at the time not many people were doing it. There are a few dog accounts around, but I thought that the captions were all a bit boring and a bit basic, and what we tried to do with Teddy, which really mirrored his personality, was give him a human voice and kind of make him tell jokes and make people relate to him, which was I think has been the most fun part about building his whole Instagram. Is just like injecting a bit of our personalities and personalities of people in the spotlight, like Kim Kardashian and like funny influencers, into his page and seeing how people react to that, and people seem to love it. So
Teddy literally has the sweetest personality ever. Everyone, I think, stereotypes Shetlands with the fact that they're typically naughty, cheeky. Teddy, as you can see, just wants to jump into your arms and have a massive hug. He's like a big dog.
He thinks this coat that I'm wearing is like something that is like his brother or something, but it's not real fur.
But yeah, he's so lovable. He's got a tiny bit of sass, but not very much, just enough to make him sort of stand out from the crowd. He's cuddly, he's got a great personality, and he just wants to be everyone's best friend, as you can see, so he's pretty special. Teddy's a therapy pony, and he visits hospices, hospitals, he visits old people's homes. He generally brings a smile to everyone he meets. He's a very special pony, he's a very loving pony, and when he walks into the children's hospice that he visits, Shooting Star Chase, which is our local hospice, he literally lights up the day of the families and the children that he meets. He stands on his little step next to their bed and gives them kisses, and they just feel normal for a minute, and that's why everyone loves him, I think. He also does stuff with Hannah's Wilbury Wonder Pony charity, which is a charity that's really close to our hearts, and my heart especially, because Hannah was a great friend of mine, and he is best friend / boyfriend to her little Shetland Doris, which is super cute. They absolutely adore each other, and he does stuff with the RDA, so he really does do a lot of good. He brings a lot of smiles to lots of people, and yeah, everybody loves him. How can you not?
During lockdown, Teddy really lifted our spirits, and I think he lifted the spirits of a lot of other people online as well. We tried to share as much of his day-to-day life as possible, which was really fun, because usually Alice is a scientist and actually works in COVID research, and I work in the film industry, so usually we're working full-time, and we get Teddy content in between our day jobs. But it was so nice being able to work from home and then go to the bottom of the garden and see Teddy there and share his sweetness with the world, really. And we did this 5k run for Shooting Star Chase Hospice, which is the hospice in Godalming that he goes to once monthly, usually when the world is normal. And we did the run with Teddy. Both Alice and I were so dubious because we don't really run ourselves anyway.
And Teddy's definitely not an athlete himself either.
No. Like the belly on him means that he has quite a lot of wind resistance going on. But he was so fast, he turned on the speed. He was faster than both of us, and I had been training for this for like weeks before. So it was we were pleasantly surprised, and so we posted a video of him running on YouTube. Got loads of views, and lots of people joined in the movement to run 5k with their pets and raise money for the hospice as well, which is in need of every bit of support it can get right now. I know that the lockdown and coronavirus has been tough on every charity, so we're really doing everything we can to help in that sense and spreading the word. Another one of our really exciting 2021 plans is introducing Teddy's half-brother Albert to the world. We actually got him a couple of months ago, and he is now 6 months old, and he is the sweetest thing. He makes Teddy look like a giant though, because he's so small. He is a Palomino and white coloured miniature Shetland, and him and Teddy have the same dad but different mums, so we're really interested to see how much he actually turns out to look like Ted. And he's definitely got the same personality, because you can see he's so calm and he's such a little sweetie, so we can't wait to bring him to shows and stuff.
We're very excited. Teddy loves his trophy. Look. And thank you so much to everyone.
Category 3, Pika Amateur Rider of the Decade. We were looking for a rider who stands out for what they've achieved in the past decade, holding their own amongst professionals and respected for their good horsemanship. Now for a short message from the sponsors Pika, and let's see who the shortlist were. Evie Toombs was born with spina bifida and is an inspirational para-show jumper who also works as a disability campaigner, visiting schools to educate children about invisible illnesses. Philippa Ratton is a police officer jumping up to 1.40 metre with her mare Ginelli Z. Sharon Polding, a corporate high flyer aiming for Badminton 2021, which will be her third 5-star. Katie Preston, a full-time vet who has completed Burley, Lamoulan and Poe 5-stars and is aiming for Badminton 2021. And now for the winner of the 2020 Pika Amateur Rider of the Decade. It's Evie Toombs.
I'm in complete shock, but thank you so much for including me in the Horse and Hound Awards. It feels amazing to have won Amateur Rider of the Decade. I think me and Daisy are very pleased, although she's not quite aware. I think she'll be more excited.
Category 4, Uvex Helmet's Professional Rider of the Decade. We wanted to know who was your hero rider of the past decade, the one who has achieved huge feats in their sporting field. Now a short message from the sponsors Uvex Helmets, and let's see who made it. Carl Hester, the man behind Britain's Olympic success in 2012. An Olympic gold medalist and multi-medalist at European and World Championships, he also holds more than 65 national titles. Nick Skelton, who achieved his greatest triumphs in the twilight of his career, being caught at Team GB's Olympic glory in 2012 before taking the individual crown in Rio. Oliver Townend, the current world #1 and top British eventing points winner in 6 of the 9 years from 2011 to 2019. He has won 3 5-stars this decade and been a European team gold and silver medalist. Charlotte Dujardin, who is Vallegro, won double gold at London 2012 and retained their title at Rio in 2016. In between, they claimed World, European and World Cup golds. And now for the winner of the 2020 Uvex Helmets Professional Rider of the Decade. It's Charlotte Dujardin.
To win this Horse and Hound Professional Award means so much to me. I think to have the general public supporting me yet again, I mean throughout my career it's been unbelievable to have the support behind me and really, giving me the confidence to keep going and achieving more and more. And to have won this award, it's something else I can probably add to my list of many achievements. I think my biggest highlight would definitely be London 2012. I mean, you know, for me that was my first ever Olympics. To go there, come away with double gold, I would never have dreamt that could happen. And I think for me also riding in London Olympia, winning and getting a world record, beating Edward Gale's record with Totalas, I think that's something that's always going to stick in my mind, and it was a phenomenal night. Allegro has been a huge part of my life. I mean, you know, to have won what we've won and to have achieved all the things we have has been fantastic. And I think now having these horses up and coming behind him, I've got fantastic horses like Mount St John Freestyle, Geo, Florentina. I mean, I have a number of horses. I'm actually riding like 10, 12 horses a day. So, you know, they're all coming through, and hopefully, you know, they're going to be the next Allegros coming through to win some more medals for Team GB. To go to another Olympic Games, obviously it's always an honour to represent your country. To be a part of an Olympic Games is so special. I think for me it's going to be a little bit strange going to the Olympics without Allegro, because obviously the last two I've had him, and we've had that partnership that you know, I know exactly how he's going to perform. So we'll be going with hopefully either Mount St John Freestyle or Geo, and you know, two new combinations, you know, so I haven't taken them to Olympic Games. They've not travelled as far as that, so it would be, you know, obviously very exciting to go there and see what happens. If someone had told me I was going to achieve you know, in 2011 what I have, you know, I still find it really surreal, you know, reading out what I have actually achieved. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal. I would not have believed anybody if they had said, Charlotte, this is what you're going to achieve. You're going to be world, European and Olympic champion, hold 3 world records. I mean, it just, you know, sounds impossible to achieve. And I did it all within my first 4 years of Grand Prix. It was actually just one of the most magical things. And, you know, for me, I generally love every day that I do what I do, and competing and building these partnerships with these horses, and to have achieved all that is so special. The person that's inspired me the most has to be Carl Hester. I mean, for me, he's, you know, been my biggest supporter, in the sense of, you know, not only has he been a mentor for me, he's my trainer, he's, you know, he's my coach when I go to a competition, he's everyone's kind of rock. I think, you know, it's been absolutely phenomenal. Not, you know, how lucky am I that I was able to watch him train, watch him compete, learn so much from him. The experience he had, I was able to watch and learn, you know, and for myself put it then on to what I was doing, and, you know, having his support and his training day to day was unbelievable. And also letting me have the horse for Allegro. I mean, you know, obviously he could have ridden the horse himself, but he let me ride him as a young horse, and you know, obviously our career started so well, and, you know, letting me keep the ride and achieve what I've achieved I was very lucky. I mean, I think he always tells me I'm the luckiest girl in the world, which I totally am. I would like to thank Horse and Hound and UVEX for this amazing award. I feel so honoured to have won this award, and I would like to thank everybody that has voted for me and supported me. I'd also like to thank Carl, my whole team that have made this possible, and my friends and family again for more support. So thanks.
Now for our final award, Horse Rail Moment of the Decade. This award is to celebrate a moment that took place in the equestrian world during the past 10 years that captured your imagination and will go down in history and be referred to time and time again in the future. Now for a short message from the sponsors Horse Rail, and let's see which were the top 4 moments. Britain's dressage team winning gold in 2012 when Carl Hester, Laura Tomlinson and Charlotte Dujardin made history by claiming Britain's first Olympic dressage medal. Frankel's final victory on Champions Day at Ascot in 2012, which was his 14th consecutive win. Pippa Funnell's 2019 Burghley win, riding MGH Grafton Street, which came 14 years after her last top-level win at Badminton in 2005. Nick Skelton winning the individual gold in Rio in 2016. Seeing Nick emotionally clutch the gold medal was a moment we'll never forget. And now for the winner of the 2020 Horse Rail Moment of the Decade. It's Nick Skelton's gold medal in Rio.
Hi. Firstly, I'd like to thank everybody, each and every one of you that actually voted for me to win this moment of the decade. For me, this is more than a moment of a decade, it's a moment of a lifetime for me. Because, you know, it took a lot of years, 8 or 9 Olympic Games before I finally succeeded. I had some near misses in Athens, near miss in London, and I thought, you know, this has got to be the day or the year, as I wasn't getting any younger, you know. And I think when I woke up that morning of the final, I had a good feeling that this was going to be the day, because I had a few rounds that weren't what I wanted them to be, but I knew that Big Star was getting better day by day. He'd had an injury running up to the Olympic Games in Rio, and I just had a good feeling that day. And after I walked the course really suited him, but I didn't expect, to be in a jump off with 6 others, and especially first to go. But I knew that I was sitting on the best horse, and that he would give me everything he'd got, and of which he did. And I thought, going in that last round, I thought, this is it. This is the last time that I'm ever going to do this, because there's not going to be another Olympic Games in me or him. So, that day was the day, and he came up, he did everything he possibly could, and we had luck on our side, and we ended up winning. So, and for me, I won it on the best horse I've ever had in my life, and I've had some very, very good ones. But all I can say is, whether it was due or came from above or whatever, but we ended up winning. And, for me to win it on him was truly amazing. And I owe this award to him and to everybody that voted. So thank you very much. And great. Thank you very much.
That's all from this instalment of the 2020 Horse and Hound Awards in partnership with NAF. A huge well done to all the winners, and thank you to the sponsors: NAF, Balanced Horse Feeds, SEIB, P. Kerr, Uvex Helmets, Horse Rail, and of course our drinks partner, Caballo Oscuro. Don't forget to catch our Lifetime Achievement Award video, and check back for all our videos on demand at horseandhound.co.uk/awards.